Hello and welcome to the next episode of Build Your Own Back to the Future DeLorean. Moving on from all the customization of 2 weeks ago, we're going to be looking at the parts, more parts I should say, for the interior of the DeLorean. And just to warn you, there are some really iconic parts that are going to be cropping up. So if I do get a little bit emotional, then it's because I've just looked at the parts and I have been sent and they are gorgeous. So without further ado, let's look at what comes in these 2 issues. Okay, so the first part you'll need for issue 42 or from issue 42 is this silver part here with these kind of speaker grates here looking very nice. I really like the attention to detail, and attention to detail is what we're going to see a lot of in this build. You then need this really thin red wire, which you can see here, and you just thread it through the holes here like this. It's a little fiddly to do. There we go. Thread it all the way through and push it through so that they are equal. This one could do with being a little bit more equal up, so they are equal. Yeah, happy with that. So that is what that looks like. Some nice wiring there coming out of the silver. The next piece you'll need is this radio piece here. Now you'll notice that these 2 knobs are attached. I did attach them off camera because I wasn't sure how that was going to go on camera, but these 2 knobs do come separately. If you push them in, you can turn them to tune them in, but I don't trust that. So I attached a bit of glue and I have glued those knobs in. I'm going to just take a second just to look at the detail on this thing. Look at that. Gorgeous looking radio. You can even see the red dot there of the tuner mark and the AM and the FM there. Really nice looking tiny radio. What you do is you attach this silver part to the top of this radio. Again, it's the screw hole and peg method. Peg, screw hole, and you just put it in there and then line it up, and you just screw it into that hole there with an AP screw. So when it's all attached, it will look like this. Very nice. I really like the contrast between the black of the radio and the silver of this top part, and the red as well. Very good colour coordination. I like it. Contrast and colour coordination. That is a contradiction in terms, but yeah, it's a nice looking radio. The next thing you need to do is attach the radio to this silver part here. It is painted silver, it's not metal or anything like that. And you just get the radio and place it on this way. If I can get the holes to line up. Yeah, so it look like that when it's screwed on, and it's screwed in to those 2 screw holes at the bottom there. And you want the gap to be on the right hand side, this hole to be on the right hand side of the radio as you look at it, because that gap is for this compass. Wait for the focus to go in. A very nice looking compass as well, and the attention to detail is brilliant because the top of that is see-through. It's clear. I can't really see, you can't really make out on camera, but you can kind of see it is clear, so it actually looks like a proper compass. That is very nice. And you can see there's a little tab there on that hole to correlate with the tab on the hole there, so it just goes into there like that, and it'll look like that when it's all done. And I think it's got some kind of writing on it, the make of the compass maybe. Looks like Harry Ramsden's, but it's not going to be that because that's a fish and chip shop. I say fish and chip shop, it's more like a fish and chip restaurant. Do you get Harry Ramsden's anywhere else in the world? Actually, I should be a bit careful of asking that question because I asked that question about Duracell, and I recently had a comment back going, of course Duracell is worldwide. How am I meant to know? I don't know, I don't work for Duracell. Anyway, my inane prattling aside, I have attached these two objects here with 3 AP screws, and yeah, I really like the look of that. I really like this loose wire. That's really nice. So moving on to more parts from issue 42. And I say next parts really casually, and I really shouldn't, because the next part is this. Oh my word. Look at that. Look at that. Just take that in. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. The text is clear on destination time, present time, and last time departed. When it's lit up, you can kind of see actually that it will say 1985 at the top. But when the light's off it just looks like all zeros. Yeah, there we go. Look at that angle. 1985, 1995, 1985. Gorgeous. I'm so taken aback by this. You can tell. It just is stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Such an iconic piece of kit from the DeLorean, and it's stunning. Now, I have just noticed there is some paint chipping there on the 1 and the 85 kind of, the paint isn't perfect at the back. Oh, there we go, you can see. So there is some chipping there on the 0, but I don't mind it. It looks like the light bleeding through in real time. It doesn't look like a mistake. It adds a lot of character, I find, so I am going to leave it. If it does get worse and you can't actually read the readouts, then I'll ask for it to be changed. But yeah, I love how it's all set to 1985. Gorgeous. Right, so now that we've spent ages marvelling at this piece, what do we do with it? Well, we put that aside for now and zoom out so that I can show you this part here, which is the LEDs for the time display. Oh, it's twisted. There we go. I freed it. So what you do, you see there's a hole here in the time display and there's a little tab there. You just feed that through so that it does line up like that, and then you get it here. No, is this the right piece? Yeah. So you get the radio and compass parts back, and then you line up this screw hole in this clear part with that screw hole there. That screw hole there, you see? So it will just slide on there. So I'm just going to go away and screw that part together. And what I particularly like about putting this bit together is because the clear part is on the time display readout and not the LED, you really have to make sure that it is all aligned correctly to screw it in place correctly, which it has done, and it looks like that. Gorgeous! The detailing on this model, stunning. This is why I'm building the model. Forget chassis, forget broken wheels, which still isn't fixed at time of recording. This is what the DeLorean is all about for me, and that just looks gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. And it doesn't stop there, because in issue 43 we get more iconic things. So I'm just going to put this aside for now and have a look at what comes in issue 43. Hold fire, really sorry, I just got a little ahead of myself. The next part of issue 42, it is still iconic. It is the inputter, the little keyboard here. Really like this shade of green, and I love the colours on the side. The detailing again is gorgeous, very nice. And what you do is you get this kind of flat black part here, and you attach it again with the peg and screw method. So we've got a peg there, and I'll just show you. So it goes in there. Oh, wait. So the peg, so the holes, I'm just looking at the instructions while I'm doing this. That is that way. Oh, okay. I'm holding it the wrong way around. It goes to the bottom here. Is that right? Okay. Yeah, it goes like this. So you screw it in from the top, not from the bottom. That's thrown me a bit. You screw it in with an AP screw. Ta-da! It looks like that when it's all done. And yes, it does make sense to go in from the bottom, because this part is actually the bottom for this part here. So what you need to do is you have to make sure that this wire goes through this kind of cutout hole here. What is a cutout hole? Don't know why I said kind of. And then you line it up. There we go. And then that will be lined up inside to screw BP screws into these two holes here, which I'm just going to go and do now. And the finished thing looks like this. That looks more complete to what I showed you before. Yeah, really just loving this part. Loving it. Gorgeous. And of course this will sit on top of the center console, but there is another thing to do in issue 43, like I said before we put these parts on the center console. So now let's have a look at what comes in issue 43. So the first part you'll need for issue 43 is this part here, and once again the detailing is great. It is tiny, but it is so clear. TFC drive circuits on and off button, gorgeously painted. Even got the silver around the outside of the colours there on the buttons. Very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. I know I say it a lot, but it is very nice. All these parts are very nice. And what else is really nice is this gold part here. Look at this. There is some slight moulding parts, but that's okay. That's to be expected. I love these little pistons. They're not pistons, but they're, you know, it's gorgeously designed. The original design of all the time circuits is really showing itself now. And once again, peg hole and screw hole method. Just pop that on there and you affix it in there with an AP screw. And I'm sorry for not showing all the screwing on camera. It's just because it's for small parts and super fiddly. So yeah, I am sorry, but also not sorry at the same time because it's my model and I don't want to ruin it. So the next part you'll need is this clear part here. And I'm going to say it again, stunning. Stunning, stunning, stunning. Just look at that. Look, my highly zoomable camera cannot zoom in to how small this is, yet all of those words are so clear. You can even see my fingerprints on them. Whoops, probably should clean that before I put it on. Forward, off, reverse, Daytona. Gorgeous. The detail is exquisite. The only thing about this is that there's nowhere to screw it in. You just push it into these pegs here. I guess so that's you can clean it maybe from fingertips. Maybe not. So it does, it does fit in. It is a little loose. So you might want to get some glue on it. Is that going in properly, that side? Yeah, I think I might get some glue on that because it's not really going in properly. Okay, let me just go sort this out. And here it is, glued down. Very nice. So the next thing you do is you just get this lever here and you just push this in. Again, it goes in quite loosely. Oh no, maybe not. So you can turn it. Yeah, you would kind of have to push it in a little bit so it clicks slightly. And then it is in and you can turn it. But of course, if you don't want to turn it, you can glue it in as well. But that is the lever there. And then this hole is for this button here that says reset on it. Nice big red button. And you just pop that in there. Oh, it's a square hole. So, is there a way around? I'm just going to have a look at this. No, I don't think it does go in a specific way around, and I've put mine at a jaunty angle. I mean, it's probably meant to be facing the driver here, but I kind of like the fact that it is offset. I did it on purpose. I might regret it later on. But hey, it's my own personal touch. My DeLorean has this little weird sideways reset button. I like that. Yeah, and that is that kind of center console part done. Again, looking very, very, very nice and gorgeous. So, oh, actually, I don't think it is done. Once again, I've made that mistake. Let me just put it to one side for now and bring in more wires. Now, all of these are the buttons for turning different things on and off, because all the lights are controlled with the time circuit and the center console, just like it would be in a real DeLorean, and I really like that. So what you have to do is you have to attach this part. I don't really know which way. Let me just check the instructions. Okay, I think it is this way round. You've got two screw holes, one that is flush to the top of the plastic, and then this bottom one here where the circle of it loops under, and I think you put it round that way, so that the connecting parts here have more width here. I don't really understand the instructions, so I'm going to go with this way, and if it's wrong I can always sort it out at a later date. But yes, this part gets screwed onto this part with some AP screws, and I really hope that I have screwed this in the right way, because I found it quite nerve-wracking screwing with all these wires and soldering parts really close by. But I guess if I have to undo it, I only get to build this thing once, don't I? And rebuilding certain parts wouldn't be a bad thing, right? That's how I'm going to justify it to myself. Okay, so the next thing you do is you attach the wire parts to this part here. Now the instructions show that these parts are kind of arched to kind of have the switches fit into them, but they're not. They're just kind of straight. And I think this is the moment of truth, actually, where I find out whether I have screwed it down right. I don't think that those parts are connecting at all. Damn, which means I have screwed it in wrong. Okay, right, be right back. No, it is right. It's just the angle was a bit off. I think I have screwed that in right. So let's attach it with AP screws and see what happens. Do you know what? I think I have done it right. That attaches fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. They are slightly at an angle going down. Are they meant to be? And also I realise you don't have to press them. If you just push them up as well, they click and work. So maybe that's the way they're meant to be. There is a lot of circuit board coming out the bottom though. I'm going to go with it for now. I'm going to go for it for now. So yeah, that is what that part looks like when it is all done. Okay, so the next part is this part here, which I hate. I hate this part. I don't remember big red numbers being on my DeLorean model. And just to show you where it's meant to go on, it's meant to go over these switches like, oops, got that wrong, like this. And I guess tell you which each switch is. But, I mean, that's just ugly. And I'm sure, I'm going to throw up a picture here of what the center console looks like. It's nothing like it, is it? So why the hell have they done this? I'm going to leave this off. I don't care. I would much rather see kind of silver push button parts than have them covered up with something so ugly. Unless, of course, and I hope this is the case, unless it is just a temporary thing till we get the proper covering. But it is a very well made temporary thing if it is, because it's not made of plastic. Well, it is, but it's made of really quite thick plastic. So, I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm going to leave it off. And it's really easy to know that 1, 2, straight through to 6 starts with the lever part backwards or forwards. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can remember that. Do you know what? I'm going to remember that. That might be a lot easier. A lot better than sticking this on. Really don't like that. So yeah, I'm going to leave this part here like that. And I also want to mention, go rid of you. I also want to mention this part here, high voltage box. It's just a box. It's got some really nice texturing there. But this box, excuse me, this box just goes onto the center console. And again, look at the detailing. Don't know what all these buttons do. Yeah, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, so this box just goes onto the center console along with this part here and along with the part that we did from issue 42. So without further ado, let's put these parts into the center console. And here's the center console as we left it last time. I still haven't cut off these excess parts of leather though, because I still want to make sure I have enough for whatever the front of the DeLorean brings. But yeah, this is how it's left last time, and I still have that ball attached, which is nice. Make sure you glue that down, for goodness sake. Okay, so getting the first part, the parts we get in issue 42, you just get the wire attached to them, and you thread it through this hole there, like that. Pull it through, and of course you've got screw holes there and screw holes there that all line up. And make sure you don't get the wire bent. Okay, so they all line up and pushed on there like that, and they're screwed at the bottom there with BP screws, just like this. So that part is on securely, and I like the way that the leather kind of folds around. Maybe it could do with just being a little bit tighter. I don't know. I didn't realise that all of this part was going to get covered by this keypad. So all those temperature controls you can't actually get to with these time circuit parts on, which is a bit of a design flaw. Doc Brown, how are you meant to control the temperature of the DeLorean, especially if you go to somewhere hot or somewhere really cold? Can't do anything about it, can you? I don't know. You should think these things through. Okay, so the next parts we attach to the center console are the parts from issue 43. So the first one being this. Just put all these wires through this hole there, and just make sure you line up the screw holes and turn it around, and it's just screwed down into those two holes there like this. So it looks like this when it's all done, and this is the first time I'm really testing my theory of I don't need leather on these back parts. and I think I've done alright actually. A little raggedy here, but that's fine. But yeah, the leather goes into these wires, into these switches, which I still can press on. Hope you can hear those clicks. I still can press all of them. You can see that the switches are pushed right up against that leather because of those extra millimeters, but that's okay. They're still clickable, so I'm still happy with them. And fingers crossed it still works when it is all put together. So the final part of this video and the final part to attach to this center console is this box here. To get the right way round, there's a little tab you see just there. That goes into that little tab there, and you just line that all up. And again, with FP screws, just screw it down into those 2 screw holes there. And it will look like this when it is all screwed on. For some reason, this one didn't play ball as well as this one. I found this one slightly more difficult. I think that tab possibly could have done with being a little bit longer so it didn't move about. But it is on. I do have excess plastic here, which I might just have to shave off, but I won't for the time being. And the leather kind of folds around really nicely under those parts. Kind of a little dodgily right at the back there, but still good enough for me. Really love how all of this center console has come out. Just look at it. In fact, I'm going to zoom in as much as I can. Just look at it. I don't know what's going to go here. I'm guessing more dashboard parts. And of course we've got this around here. This could do with being a little bit straighter, but I'll sort that out in just a second. We have the gear stick here and this part. If I was driving this, that would really annoy me having that part in the way. But I don't have to drive it, so that's fine. All looking fantastic. Really like how it looks with the leather. I'm really glad I did that leather mod. And then of course all of it together. I'm guessing at some point all the wires will go through this hole and go on there like that. And there we have pretty much the finished center console, which looks phenomenal in my opinion. Really nice with the 2 seats there. This video's got me. I think the iconicness of this part in particular has just really got me. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm speechless. This is stupid. It's just a model, Chris. Calm down. But it is my childhood. I used to watch all the Back to the Future. Okay, back to earth. Do a little sales pitch, that'll help. Okay, I have a Patreon. If you really like this video, make sure you support me on Patreon, because it does help pay for the parts and all these extra parts. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And all this isn't working. I'm just flabbergasted. I don't care. You can watch it, you can't. I'm building a DeLorean model. That's what makes me happy. And I am happy that you guys are joining me along for the ride. But even if you weren't, I'd still be ecstatic by this. I really hope that you are enjoying building your own models, or you're getting this sense of excitement by watching me build this model, and I hope that excitement will see you through till 2 weeks time, where I am back with more DeLorean parts. Until then guys, take care, bye bye.